Okay, so those of you at home, we got clay for you at the front desk, and your first task is to create a box. So you're going to have to roll out some slabs. Try to keep the thickness of the slab the same, and when you're cutting out your shapes, having a ruler is going to be a good idea. And then we want to make the box interesting on all different sides. So think about like how you can do that by cutting holes in the box or by adding details to the box. I pulled out one example from Devin from last semester. He made a little treasure chest. Got some details on the top, got a curved top, so it's not just a box. It's got a little more personality to it. But I wanted to go over or remind you about making a good solid connection between two slabs. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these two slabs, but when I cut it, I want to lean my blade so that I'm getting a 45-degree angle when I cut those two apart. Then when I go to connect them, I've got a bigger surface touching the other surface. So I've got some slip here, but water will work just as well. I'm just going to paint the sides with a little bit of that slip. And then on at least one side, but even better if I do both, I want to score that edge up so that it's nice and rough. Remember that when you're putting sides together, the longer you let that slip sit on there, the better work it's going to do because it's going to soak in and soften up that clay. And then when I'm putting this joint together, instead of working with it like this on the table, I probably want to set it up like this so that it's holding itself up. If your clay is too wet and it doesn't want to stand up, then you probably want to dry it out a little bit before you do that. And then to really make sure that that seam stays together, it's always a good idea to take a little coil of clay or cut a little piece like this and work that together. Now, if you're going to see inside your box, I'd want to smooth this out so that it looks more professional. But if you're not going to see the inside of the box, you could just leave it like that. Last thing, I got to get my credit card. I almost forgot. On the outside of that seam, I've got a little gap, and if I leave that gap will probably open up. So I'm going to take my credit card, and I'm going to go along the edge on both sides to make it sharp. And if I wanted it to be rounded, I would go over it with a sponge as well. So, little refresher on putting together a strong joint. All right. See you later.